This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Polls have dropped, so it's time to overreact for the first week. So we're going to do that. We're going to dive into what this looks like for the Sooners going forward and, get excited. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. This video is presented by our partners over at BetUS. Make sure you check them out. Link in the description below as well as in the pinned comment. 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. The hook and the game are up. That way you can go in there and do your thing. All right. Polls are in. They dropped yesterday. I recorded something over at Locked On Sooners. You can make sure you check them out too. That's one of the other spots you can find me on a daily. But I like to bring you all here and get a little bit more in depth and focus really on my true feel, my really deeper thoughts around some of this stuff. Because, with limited time, you can't do that with a partner. And so let's talk about this poll, right? So let's pull it up, dive right into it and what we're talking about. First and foremost, we're going to do the coaches poll as well as the AP poll together. And let's look at the discrepancies between the two. Here we go. So when you take a gander at this, you've got Oklahoma in the coaches poll sitting at 13. You've got Oklahoma at 15 in the AP poll. So the AP likes USC more than they like Oklahoma. In this one, as well as Miami. The coaches aren't very big on Miami. The AP poll is higher on Miami and USC. So that's really where your biggest discrepancies come in here. Why you see Oklahoma at 13 and 15 in another. A little bit intriguing to see that that's how things are playing out. But it makes sense, right? We move up a spot, your big droppers from Oregon to Michigan because their games just weren't as impressive. And then, of course, LSU dropping way down after losing to USC. I think they dropped a lot further than I would have expected because it's not like they got blown out. It was a very close game majority of the time, so I would figure they would stay closer. But I'm wondering if there are really big questions by the AP in regards to it. And I saw some of the AP pollers. Shout out to Chris Murray over from Nevada, the Nevada grad, because he tossed Oklahoma in his top 5. Now, it's funny, we talked about it on Locked On Sooners, and I'm going to be honest, they may have called him a madman in that one, right? They're going to call that man a madman, say he's crazy. And then in the end, if he is right, if he's what Thanos was talking about, yeah, he may be out here doing victory laps around everybody. But he thinks Oklahoma's a top 5 team. I don't yet. I think we need to continue to prove ourselves. I like being underestimated. It helps with us in our trajectory. And so, we're going to ride with the fact that fit middle of the pack in the top 25. I think it's a good spot for us. So seeing these numbers, I have no complaints about where we're at here on the poll. So we'll take that. Okay. But the FPI had things a little bit different at ESPN's computers. I always thought their computers were intriguing. We're going to look at that, and I'm going to explain to you all what that meant from even last year when we were ranked really high on the FPI on the computers. Let's dive into that. Before that, though, word from the sponsor. Shout out to our partners over there at BetUS. They are hooking up you all, the gamer. You're getting 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. So they're making sure that you can get in the game and have a blast. They're one of the fastest payouts in the industry, and they always take care of you with some gambling insurance. We'll dive into that in a second, but one game I'm looking at, we're talking about it here, is this Houston game. So if I search Oklahoma, you can see Oklahoma-Houston. Right now, that spread's at minus 29.5. It jumped up from the minus 26 at the open. Over-under sitting at 49. And be honest, I think that over is one is very attractive to me. So, of course, I'm going to put a little money on the over. We'll bet that. And boom, we're going to ride with our Sooners to hit that over 49. Feels like a low number, so they can do it. And BetUS has got all the sports for you, right? From MLB to NBA to NFL. Everything you're looking for is right there on the site. Make sure you check them out. Link is in the description below. That's where they're hooking you up to 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000. They're hooking you up. And they're giving you back 10% on your net losses twice a year. So they want to keep you in the game. So check out BetUS. All right, looking at ESPN's FPI here, look at this. Oklahoma's ninth in the country in the computers for ESPN. This is a power index. What this means is neutral site, similar to like the JP poll, neutral site favorability. Oklahoma's considered to be favored about, above anybody below them in a neutral site. It could be 1 point, it could be 5 points, but they're considered close or whatnot. And the FPI actually gives you like more of a point number. So it's a little bit more detailed than just kind of where I'm simplifying things. I purposely don't want to go too complex on it, but that's the interesting thing is that ESPN likes us, right? So you got Georgia, Bama, Texas, Ohio State, Penn State. I guess that big win against on the road really did help them out a lot. The questions aren't as high, but for Oklahoma, point-wise, we're at like 17.3. So we're like Tennessee's at 20. So Tennessee would most likely be like a 3-point favorite at a neutral site. So they would be, they'd be your neutral site, bigger favorite, wouldn't be even money, but it'd be close, right? Ole Miss would be 17.9. So that means that it would probably be a point favorite or it would be even money. So, but besides that, Oklahoma will be probably 2 points ahead, everybody else behind them at minimum, and then it goes up from there. So just a -2, meaning that Vegas thinks they would win by at least 2 points in all those games. That's what got my attention. I was a little intrigued. Okay, so ESPN's the computers and the simulation, the 20,000 simulations has Oklahoma taking a substantial amount of wins in this. I think it's mainly because of the defense, and we all know that, right? The offense is going to be able to churn out the numbers they need to. It's going to take them a couple of games to get into the groove that they want, especially with a new quarterback. It takes a little time, especially if you're not trying to put your foot on the gas. Having teams doubt our offense is probably a good thing, right? Because then everybody's going to not focus on that portion of it. They're going to be like, how are we going to break through this defense? And I've heard some people say that they believe our defense is one of the tops in the country, one of the tops in the conference, and potentially one of the tops in the nation. So, I'm not complaining about that. And as we prepare ourselves for next week, shout out to our partners over at BetUS. We got this spread for the next game, which going up against, Houston, the opening number was 26 and a half. We're sitting at 30 right now. And at 30, I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and I told him I think that there's a very good chance that number goes up, right? 30 was one I saw the other day. ESPN's BetUS gives us at 29.5 right now. Over under is sitting at 49. So that number is kind of coming down a little bit. Like maybe we'll probably see closer to 50 at game time, but I do expect this spread to go up again. They need more traffic on the Houston side, and people aren't buying it. They're especially the way Houston played last week. So we'll break that down on the live later today. Me and Coop will talk about the Houston game in preparation and kind of what we've seen and thought about them, especially with their rankings and stuff. And then, of course, I'll give you the big stats number sheet. Shout out to my guy, Stats by Popo. He put that together for us. Jacob always hooks up the big numbers. I have a spreadsheet similar, but his is way more robust. And so we leverage the best out there. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know your thoughts. How y'all feeling about Oklahoma and the ranking? Do you think it's too high? You think it's too low? Would love to hear from you all. You made this far, like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We would love for you to join this family of Sooner fans, talking OU football, SEC, college football in general, having a blast doing it. All right. We will recap and prepare you all for the game for Saturday. Me and Cooper go live tonight, 9 p.m. Central Time. So join us or listen to the recording on Thursday morning or whatnot. Shout out to BetUS sponsoring these videos. Hit them up. Link in the description below as well as a pinned comment. They're giving you a bonus of 125% up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits, making sure that the gamer can continue to go, and that betting insurance, giving you back your net losses, 10% of your net losses twice a year. Big time hookup. We're out. We'll chop it up soon. Peace.